This incident happened in February 1948, near the same location where flight MH370 was last seen on radar in 2014, the Strait of Malacca. This place is a narrow stretch of sea between Malaysia and Indonesia, through which thousands of ships from around the world pass every day. On that day, the weather was completely clear. The sea was calm and the air was peaceful, just like on a normal day. Along this route, many American and British ships were traveling. Everything seemed normal. Suddenly, several ships in the area received a strange signal on their radios. Welcome once again to Nexus of Knowledge videos. Viewers, this strange signal was in Morse code. Morse code is an old method of communication, but it is much more reliable than voice messages. Normally, when voice messages are sent over radio, their clarity depends on distance and atmospheric obstacles such as fog, dust, humidity, and line of sight. When there are obstacles, the audio message may not fully reach the receiver. It either fades away or arrives with heavy distortion. In contrast, Morse code uses a combination of dots and dashes. These can be decoded at the receiving end to form complete English sentences. The biggest advantage of Morse code is that it can be sent over thousands of kilometers, even with atmospheric interference. That day, the Morse code signal received by ships in the Strait of Malacca started like this: 3 dots, 3 dashes, and then 3 dots again. This pattern was repeated twice, followed by a long sequence of dots and dashes. When decoded from Morse code, the meaning of the opening part was SOS.
SOS. SOS. This is the steamship SS Ourang Medan, requesting immediate contact with a ship that has a doctor on shortwave wireless. This was the first message received. Without any delay, a second message followed. Its translation was, "Most likely the second officer is dead. Other crew members are also dead. Do not give medical advice. SOS. Requesting urgent help from a warship." After this second message, the Ourang Medan sent its position. Then it sent one final message, which seemed incomplete. The last message contained only the words, "I die," and then the transmission ended. After this final message, there was complete silence. Radio operators on other ships immediately tried to reply, but no response came back. The silence continued for several minutes. All the ships that had received the message realized that something terrible had happened to a ship named SS Ourang Medan. After receiving these terrifying messages, the closest ship was an American merchant ship called Silver Star. The captain of the Silver Star decided to head toward the location from where the signal had come. He changed course and moved quickly toward the SS Ourang Medan. At first, they thought the ship might be sinking or had been attacked. After traveling for several hours, when the Silver Star reached near the location, they used binoculars and saw that a ship was indeed standing there. As they came closer, the crew of the Silver Star was shocked to see that the SS Ourang Medan was in perfect condition. The ship showed no signs of damage, and there were no signs of water entering it.
The ship was quietly floating on the water. If there was anything strange, it was this. Despite being a steam-powered ship, no smoke was coming out of its chimney. Even more strange was the fact that there was no movement on the deck. Such a large ship, yet completely silent. The captain of the Silver Star could not understand what was happening. He made several announcements over the loudspeaker and sounded the ship's horn, but there was no response. Only the sound of ocean waves. Finally, the captain of the Silver Star decided to send a team aboard the ship to uncover the mystery. When the rescue team boarded the SS Ourang Medan, they found the inside to be unusually cold and completely silent. Soon, they saw the first dead body. This was not a normal sight. The man's face was twisted in terror. His eyes and mouth were wide open, as if he had seen something extremely horrifying at the moment of death. His body was stiff and his hands were stretched forward as if he had been trying to stop something. As the rescue team moved forward, they found more bodies. Corpses were scattered all over the deck. The captain was dead in his chair. The other officers were dead on the bridge. Even the ship's dog was found dead. The dog's death also did not seem normal. Its body was stiff and its mouth was open. The most shocking thing was that none of the bodies had any visible wounds. There were no signs of blood, no injuries, and no evidence of a struggle. There was only the same terrifying expression on every face. When the rescue team reached the radio room, they found the body of the radio operator, the same person who had sent all those messages. His fingers were still on the Morse code key, frozen in the position they were in when he sent the final words, "I die." The rescue team from the Silver Star was now certain that something very abnormal had happened on this ship. There were no clear signs of injuries on the bodies, and it seemed that everyone had died out of extreme fear. At this point, they decided to tie the ship with ropes and tow it to the nearest port for further investigation. The rescue team had just started securing the ropes when smoke began to rise from the lower part of the ship, from cargo hold number 4. At first, the smoke was light, but within moments, a fire broke out. The fire spread so quickly that the rescue team had no choice but to escape. They immediately jumped back into their small boats and rushed toward the Silver Star to save their lives. As soon as they reached their ship, a massive explosion occurred on the SS Ourang Medan. The blast scattered debris across the sea. Within moments, the mysterious ship sank into the depths of the ocean, taking all its secrets and the horrifying bodies with it. No physical evidence was left behind. The only witnesses were the crew members of the Silver Star who had seen everything happen. Because there was no physical proof, many people later claimed that the story was made up, while others began forming conspiracy theories. Some researchers argued that the ship named SS Ourang Medan was never officially registered. They pointed out that Lloyd's Shipping Register, which keeps records of ships worldwide, had no record of such a vessel. On the other hand, researchers who believe the incident was real argue that this happened just after World War II, a time when many ships sailed under false names or were never registered at all. It is possible that the SS Ourang Medan was one of these ships, or that it was involved in illegal activities, which is why it was never officially registered. It is believed that the ship was not officially registered because it may have been involved in illegal activities. Some years later, in 1954, a Dutch newspaper published an article describing the entire incident of the SS Ourang Medan. The article included interviews with people who had previously worked on this mysterious ship. Some former crew members claimed that the Ourang Medan was used for smuggling illegal goods. This may be why the ship was never properly registered. Based on these statements, attempts were made to trace the owner of the ship, but due to a lack of evidence, the owner was never identified. Many years after the incident in 2003, the American intelligence agency CIA released some secret files to the public. One of these files was related to the mysterious ship SS Ourang Medan. It was a letter written to the CIA on May 29, 1958. In this letter, the writer described all the details of the incident and stated that he believed if the tragedy of the SS Ourang Medan could be solved, it might also explain the mysteries of many missing airplanes and ships. It is not known whether the CIA conducted any investigation based on this letter. However, the letter remained classified for the next 45 years and was finally declassified in 2003. Even today, it is still available on the CIA's website. At that time, the most accepted and logical theory was that the SS Ourang Medan was carrying dangerous chemicals. It should be remembered that World War II had just ended, and Japan and Germany possessed many deadly chemical substances. It is believed that this ship was smuggling such chemicals, possibly potassium cyanide or nitroglycerin. According to experts, if salty seawater mixes with potassium cyanide, it can produce an extremely poisonous gas. When this gas enters the lungs, it causes a chemical reaction that can lead to immediate death by suffocation. This theory explains why there were no wounds found on any of the bodies. As for nitroglycerin, it is a highly explosive chemical. If it is not stored properly, it can explode on its own. It is possible that the fire seen by the rescue team was caused by this chemical. Another theory suggests that the ship may have been carrying cargo related to Unit 731. Unit 731 was a terrifying unit of the Japanese Army that conducted biological experiments on humans. After Japan lost the war due to American intervention, the United States tried to relocate Japanese scientists. It is possible that this ship was secretly transporting biological weapons or dangerous chemicals. A leak during the journey may have killed the entire crew. Because this was a secret mission, the ship was never officially registered. When the CIA declassified the letter after 45 years, public belief in this theory became even stronger. Another interesting detail is that the crew of the Silver Star reported that the atmosphere on the ship felt extremely heavy and disturbing. The death of the dog, frozen in an aggressive position, suggests that it may have seen something terrifying. This point leads some people to believe that the incident could also have a supernatural explanation. The true story of the SS Ourang Medan remains buried somewhere in the depths of the ocean. We can only make guesses. If we think logically, the chemical leak theory appears to be the strongest explanation. Smuggling dangerous war chemicals, combined with poor safety measures, likely caused the deaths of those unfortunate sailors. This incident is one of the few events in the world that reminds us how many secrets the ocean still holds. Even today, when ships pass through the Strait of Malacca, old sailors remember the story of the SS Ourang Medan. This story teaches us that no matter how advanced humans become, we are still helpless in front of nature and fate. We hope you enjoyed this Nexus of Knowledge video. Please like and share it, and thank you very much for your kind comments. We will meet again in the next amazing video.